Hello everyone, this is Vivian and I'm back today with another video. Today I wanted to talk about what is weird versus what is normal and why I have pretty much always been considered to be weird rather than normal. Okay, so for me, this is not the official definition, but for me, my own definition of weird is that it's something that's unconventional, and something that's normal is something that's considered to be conventional, conformed to. So right now we're gonna take a look at the official Merriam-Webster definitions of these words. Okay, so normal, yes. So this is from the Merriam-Webster website. The definition that they have for normal is conforming to a type, standard, or regular pattern, characterized by that which is considered usual, typical, or routine. Okay, so now I'm gonna go to the definition of weird. Also Merriam-Webster, because I want to keep it consistent. So okay, their definition of weird is of strange or extraordinary character, odd, fantastic. Fantastic, they mean in the sense of like fantasy or even supernatural, witchcraft or magical, something like that. So it has a couple of definitions. Yes, definitely out of the ordinary. Okay, so now that we have the official definitions, I just wanted to talk about why is it considered to be bad to be weird? Because normally when somebody calls you weird, they normally mean that as an insult. I mean, way back when I was in elementary school. I missed the 90s, but back then, as far as I can remember, even going back as far as preschool, I never fit in with the other kids or anyone. And people would be like, oh yeah, you know, Vivian, she's that weird girl. Things like that. And back then, when I was little like that, it was hard. It was hard not fitting in. I wanted to fit in. I just never could, no matter how much I tried. I eventually gave up as I got older because I was like, oh, whatever, it's just not gonna work. Let me just be myself. Let me just, you know, the saying, you do you. That's what I was trying to do. I was trying to do me. And so, yeah, I mean, you might have noticed if you watch my other videos, if you're watching this video, if this is the first video of mine that you're ever watching, you might be like, oh, so this Vivian chick she's a little bit quirky. She's a little bit eccentric. And so if you are thinking that, you're not wrong. I can totally understand why that would be the case, why you would think that. But yeah, I don't know. It's just that people usually really mean it as an insult when they call you weird. As I said, when I was growing up in my childhood, oh, my teenage years, that was a nightmare. And I was just, I was never popular. I didn't necessarily want to be popular. I didn't want to be popular. Like, but it was even hard to make friends and like, it was a struggle. I also always had my own sort of unique sense of style, like physical style, aesthetic style. And I wasn't governed by the trends that were going on. And like, I know there was this trend when I was like in middle school and high school too, where everyone would wear things from Abercrombie and Hollister and stuff. That was a big thing for a long time. And then they'd have the Ugg boots and stuff. And like, to me, that was just never cute. And I didn't care for it. And I was like, I don't even want to wear that. I don't have any interest in that. But anyway, so weird, right? I don't know if you consider yourself to be weird if you're watching this. If you do, then you've come to the right place. But yeah, so some people do actually refer to themselves as being weird as like in a good way. If they themselves say it's like, hell yeah, I'm weird. So I've kind of come to that point in my life after many years of being sort of an outcast and not fitting in. But I have had so many occasions, like I said, that are more recent, that are not like preschool or kindergarten, elementary school, not even middle school or high school, not even college. But throughout my 20s, you know, being an adult. But yeah, so I've even, like, it's really weird. I have gone out with guys on dates. Haven't been in relationships with these people. This is maybe people that I've gone out with maybe 1 or 2 dates, 3 dates at most. And sometimes they didn't have to say it that they thought I was weird. Like, I just show up looking how I look, you know, dressed how I dress. And, you know, I'd maybe say something, and during the course of the conversation be like, I could tell they thought that I was weird. I was like, this isn't gonna work, right? But then I have had instances where guys that I've gone out on dates with have outright told me that I'm weird. Like, this one occurrence that happened a couple of years ago. So this guy, I didn't meet him online either. It wasn't on like Tinder or any dating site or dating app. I met him at an event. And so he sort of asked me out. I guess he thought I was cute or something. And he asked me out. I was like, okay, because I was single at the time. And yeah, so we went out, and like on our second date, he was like, you know what, Vivian, you're just so weird. You're so weird that you shouldn't even be living in New York City, because I was living in New York City at the time. And he told me, you need to move to Portland, Oregon, because that's where all of the weirdos and all of those kinds of people are, and you would actually fit in there. And I was like, because you know what, he meant this as it's also the way that somebody says something, right? So this wasn't like, oh my God, you're so weird and it's so cute and endearing. No, this was like, I kind of mean to insult you. And it was like, I was a bit taken aback by that. I was like, yeah. Anyway, because I thought he was a little bit odd himself in possibly a positive way, but it turned out that was true. We only went out on one more date after that. I'm not sure why I even went out on the third date with him, but you know, things can be weird. Dating in New York was really difficult. Now I can't imagine what dating is like, period, because of all of the stuff going on with the CV. But yeah, he was just so, and he kept on the third date too. He said like, yeah, you're just so freaking weird. Like, why are you weird? And on our third date, it was pretty funny because we went to I had just gotten out of a performance of a play that I was doing where I was playing a witch. And I had like dark green lipstick on. I had like green eyeshadow, and I tried to make myself look witchy, sort of like a glam witch. That was the look I was going for, and it wasn't like my usual look. I would not normally ever wear green lipstick or eyeshadow or anything like that. But it's so hard. We went, like, I went, we met up at this heavy metal bar in Brooklyn, and I was coming from Manhattan, from the theater district, and by subway. So we decided to meet up there, and like I was coming how I was, and I was dressed, and I don't know, it might have been pretty funny, but so when I got there, he was like, and it was like, it wasn't very out of place the way that I looked for that, because again, it was a heavy metal bar. We decided to go there because I had a friend or acquaintance who I knew who was performing there. She had a show going on. So I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go, we can support, and we can watch this together and it would be a good time. But it was just absolutely disastrous. But anyway, this is not about my horrible date or dating experience. This is just like, I could tell that the energy was so off with him, and then like I felt so uncomfortable, and the fact that he kept it's not like he kept saying you're weird, it's not like he kept repeating that over and over again, but there was just that feeling there after he did say it several times before. I also went out with someone before that. It was just one day, and the reason for that being was because like at the end of it, it was like what he said to me. This was maybe like a year before this one, or something like that. And so this other guy, he said to me like, "You're such a weirdo, but I'd still bang." And so that's, I don't know what he was expecting with that, but that was like that was definitely meant as like an insult or a backhanded compliment. Like it's like, okay, you're super weird, but I think you're attractive or something. I don't know, but it was just very like, it didn't make me feel good at all. I was like, dude, what? I didn't say that. I was just like, I mean, I'm not sure what I said. I don't think I nodded, but it's hard because I do always strive to be kind and polite to people. So I'm not gonna necessarily slap someone across the face unless they really do something bad. But yeah, and just other things like even so my ex, who I was with for a while, and we were friends before we got together, but it was different with him because he did acknowledge that I'm weird. And though he did mean it in a good way, and he thought that it was endearing, he did not mean it as an insult. We ended the relationship for other reasons, but I mean, we're still on good terms. It wasn't like a terrible breakup or anything, and he's a nice person. But so with him it was different. It was like, it was cute almost. And yeah, in most cases though, definitely in the childhood years and preteen years, teen years, it's just when people say that you're weird, it's not good. And there are other reasons that people have said that I'm weird. It's not just my style or my personality quirks. It's also because okay, so some people might think that I seem like a party girl. Maybe some people think I seem very extroverted for whatever reason, or that I look like a party girl, I dress like a party girl. That's not true. I am the worst at parties. So whenever I would go to parties, I kind of miss them now because we don't have a chance to go. But back when parties existed, and when I went occasionally on rare occasion. So I'm sober. I don't drink alcohol, never have never been into it, uh, for a variety of reasons. Mainly, the first one is that I just don't see the appeal and I don't like it. I don't like the taste. I'm very health conscious, and so it's literal poison that you're ingesting when you ingest alcohol. Not judging you if you do, but just it should be acknowledged that it is essentially poisonous to your body. But yeah, so I would always be the one person there who wouldn't be drinking. And I would always feel super uncomfortable. Not uncomfortable where I would want to drink, but like it was awkward. I mean, it was really awkward at parties. And then like other people would try to pressure me, for lack of a better word. Like they would actually try to pressure me into drinking some alcohol. They're like, "Oh, are you sure you don't want some? You really don't want some? Because there's a lot here. You can have some. We'd love to see you get drunk and stuff." And I was like, "No thanks, not for me." And so people would look at me and tell me that I was weird for that. And like they wouldn't even have to say that I was weird. All they would have to do was it would just say everything with the expression on their face. Like people would look at me like, I don't know, like I was from another planet or something. Like, I don't know, like I was like Medusa or something. Like I had 5 heads coming out with like just like snake hair and everything. Like it was weird. And that was weird to me, how they thought I was weird for wanting to stay sober. Like it was just my personal choice. And again, I wasn't telling these other people to not drink or anything like that. You know, they could do whatever they want. So anyway, now after I had my initial awakening, or woke up to the truth of our reality more or less back in 2016, the only reason why that happened, I think, is because I felt like I didn't fit in, and like I wasn't out there, you know, partying with my friends, and like, you know, I didn't have this huge circle to talk to. And so I like something happened and I ended up going down a rabbit hole. Again, that's a story for another day. But I ended up having this like boom moment and going down a bunch of rabbit holes to the point where I like couldn't sleep, and I just, it was a lot for me. It was yeah, I was like, I cried because it was so much. And the only reason why that happened again is because I was an outcast. And so I think for a lot of people who are awakened or possibly truthers, you know, things like that, I think that a lot of us can feel like we don't fit in and that we're outcasts, maybe that we're weird. Maybe people tell us that we're weird. They're like, "Oh, you're this weird or crazy like conspiracy person, conspiracy theorist." And I don't like, I don't even think that it's a bad thing at this point. I just don't think so, because again, normal is adhering to conventions, adhering to the usual and what's expected. And what is expected? What is the typical usual thing, and what is considered normal in our society? A lot of times it's people you know, they are stuck in these jobs that they hate, these soul crushing jobs, and they can't stand, but they go and they do it anyway, and because they can't see themselves doing anything else, so they stay. It's often staying in relationships that are not good for us. And just, I know a lot of people like this who would, rather than be alone, they would much rather just be with someone else, no matter who it is, even if that person is not good for them, even if the relationship is just not working. But that's considered normal. It's considered normal now to hand your kids off to other people to take care of for the day while you go to a job that you freaking hate. And then you have to make money in order to pay the person to watch your children. So there's a lot of stuff that doesn't make sense about that. But anyway, yeah, and of course what's going on, what's considered normal now is following the narrative and being like, yeah, you know, this virus, oh my God, this big bad virus, it's really out to get all of us. And oh my God, let's stay inside our houses on house arrest. Let's just stay safe until nothing ever happens. And let's wear these masks over our faces like some kind of cult. And now it's considered normal also to want to get the vaccine. I know a lot of people I've seen on social media are literally saying stuff like, inject me now, as long as I can go to a concert again. Stuff like that, which is disturbing. But that is considered normal. And you know, it's not considered normal to me or to us truthers, I guess. But it is considered to be normal amongst the majority of the Western population, and the American population. But yeah, is that normal though? Is it normal? Is it normal to be completely disconnected from reality? And these people who are disconnected from reality, again, I am not knocking these people or trying to insult them. I'm really not, I promise. But like, is it normal to be disconnected from reality how they are, and for them to think that we're disconnected from reality when actually we're the ones who are more in touch with reality, more than they are, I guess. I mean, it's hard to be fully in touch with all of reality. It takes a lot of work. It's not just going down a few rabbit holes here and there and being like, oh my God, you know, it goes way beyond just being like, oh, wearing the mask is bad and being like against that. Well, that is a starting point. If someone can see that wearing a mask over your face, if they can see that that's bad, then it's definitely a very, very, very good start. But yeah, just why, I don't know, like, it's, you know, that quote always comes to mind, the one of, it's no measure of health to be well adjusted to a profoundly sick society. So that's what automatically came to mind for me when I came up with the idea for this video of weird versus normal. And the truth is that quote has so much truth, because we do have a profoundly sick society. It just is. And a lot of us in this community can see that for sure. But why would we want to be like that? Why would we want to be profoundly sick like that society, where we wouldn't want to even interact with other human beings because we're worried about getting too close to them, and for them to breathe on us, we don't want anyone to breathe on us because we're worried again about getting sick. And that, to me, that's not normal. So to me, what's considered normal, that's weird to me, and like, I'm the crazy one or the weird one to most people for many reasons. But I hope that some of you can relate to this, and because I want to make other people feel like they're not alone in this sort of struggle of feeling that you don't fit in, feeling like an outcast, feeling weird. And I mean, even my family members will say to me, and have regularly said this to me throughout my life, like, Vivian, what's wrong with you? What's wrong with me? Well, I don't know. I am who I am. I am who I am for a reason. You are who you are for a reason. Everyone is different. So my type of weird might not be your type of weird, or somebody's type of normal might not be somebody else's type of normal. And so I just want to encourage everyone who feels like a weirdo, like you don't belong here, you know, like the Radiohead song Creep. That comes to mind too. I'm gonna play this after this video most likely. But yeah, I kind of have felt like I don't belong here. And if you feel like that too, I just want to encourage you to see that what is normal isn't really normal. And what's weird is actually valuable in many ways. And like, we need weirdness. We need your weirdness. I want you all to embrace your own weirdness and use that as a positive thing, you know? Like, if someone calls you weird, and be like, hell yeah, I'm weird. It's like it's a good thing, you know? And yeah, you should never want to be normal. You just shouldn't. I promise you, I do not want to be normal. I'm so glad that I'm a weirdo, and I don't want to change. And no one's ever going to change me. I'm not going to change for any person, any group of people, any, you know, a social media or YouTube or anything. I am going to be who I am. And people can take that or they can leave that. It's up to you to decide. I'd love to have you here on my channel if what I said resonated with you and if you like my message, because a lot of what I'm going to be doing on this channel hopefully is going to be trying to bring a lot of positive messages to people. And because I know I needed people when I was growing up, and even in my earlier 20s, I needed people to tell me that, like, it's okay to be just who I am, and to not worry about other people, to not try to be like them. And like I said, no matter how hard I tried, I always failed at being other people. I failed at trying to have a normal, like, you know, 9-to-5 cubicle office job too. And my family always wanted me to have a normal job, like maybe to be a lawyer. I mean, oh God, could you imagine me being a lawyer? That would be some kind of comedy, right? But yeah, I think it would be crazy for me to be a lawyer. But yeah, so I went into the arts, and I had been in the arts, and you know, now that industry is suffering because of what's going on with the lockdowns and the restrictions, all of that draconian crap. The industry is not draconian. I mean, what's going on everywhere is very, very draconian. And yeah, I can't imagine myself doing a normal type of like office job, because I tried to do that for a bit, actually. I did. Like, I worked in an accountant's office, and I was like a secretary there. And I would come in a lot of the times when it would be empty, and I would just like start singing as I do my work, like type up all of these emails, just play some music, just like rock out. And I don't know if they had cameras there, but yeah, it just didn't all work out. I felt very stifled, and I don't think anyone should ever feel stifled. It's not a good feeling. You need to express yourself. You need to. And you know, that's another thing. For the longest time, ever since I was little, I would have issues with my throat. Not like chronic issues, but I would frequently get, you know, at the first sign of a cold or something, I would get a sore throat. I would just very, very easily get a sore throat throughout my life up until maybe a couple of years ago, when I started really, really expressing myself. Because with the throat, I definitely, you can say all you want, whatever you believe, but I think that with the throat chakra, that has to deal with expressing yourself, expressing your truth and everything. And I think because I was keeping that inside, that actually physically manifested as these throat issues. Again, it wasn't anything severe, but I'm just saying. So I never want to feel stifled like that again. I want to always express myself. I want you all to express yourself in whatever way that might be. It's probably not going to be the same way as me. But yeah, it's always good to do that. And that's another reason why I absolutely can't stand the masks. It's because I feel so stifled and suppressed in so many ways. Because I did put one on like maybe a handful of times since this all started back in March of last year. Because I had to, obviously. I had to in order to go into certain places. And I was a part of the problem those few times that I did it too, by the way. Anyone who does that and goes along with it is part of the problem, and I for sure was, and that's why I no longer do that. If I have to stay home the rest of my life and not go anywhere, well, you know, or there could be somewhere that I could move to. I mean, who knows? I really don't know. Don't know what to say about that, but I would definitely have to do some research. But yeah, it's like when you can't breathe, it's hard to, I don't know, because actually my tea that I had before I came on, it had this quote on the tea bag, which sometimes some of them do depending on the brand, and it said, "Breath is life." And I was like, oh my God, exactly, it is exactly that. And breath is, it's the life of your soul. That's what the quote said. I was trying to get that sorted out, but yeah, just on a physical level, being able to breathe is important to express yourself. If you don't have enough breath, you're not going to be able to physically speak how you would want to, because you need breath in order to speak. And so much is being taken away, the expressions and everything with that. And so that is just one of the many reasons why I hate those freaking things and never want to wear them. But anyway, the point of this video is that just stay weird, or stay, if you don't consider yourself to be weird, I just want you to question what is authentic for you. Like, how do you authentically express yourself? What do you do for yourself, not for others? What makes you happy? How do you want to dress? What kind of job do you want to do? What kind of hobbies? What do you want to say to people? Like, really say to them? What do you want to do? And forget about other people's opinions of you, because they do not matter in the long run. They just don't. They don't. I know it might be hard to believe, but it is what it is. So anyway, be authentic to yourself and yeah, stay weird. And please don't change. Please do not try to be normal or try to fit in with the crowd, because we need people like you. We need the weirdos. We need, and I'm saying this obviously as a good thing. I'm using weirdos right now as a very good thing. So we need you all. Stay exactly how you are. And thank you so much for watching.